Hi everybody, this is Jeff from Treeline Model Works. In case you're wondering, this actually is a model building video, but it is a little bit different than ones I've done in the past, so please bear with me. This is a photo of Jake Trees. He was my great uncle on my father's side. He was my granddad's oldest brother. Jake was born in 1912. He was the oldest of 4 boys and the 4th oldest of 10 children in total. On August the 3rd, 1942, Uncle Jake enlisted in the United States Navy at the age of 30. In the Navy, he became a motor machinist mate 2nd class. During World War II, Uncle Jake was assigned to the USS LST-348. On February the 20th, 1944, the USS LST, while en route from Nisida, Italy to Anzio, Italy, was sunk by a German submarine. Uncle Jake's body was never recovered. He was a boy who never came home. Well, hopefully you didn't find that first part of the video too depressing. While it is a sad story, it's also a heroic story. Have a man who later in life joined the United States military to serve his country and actually gave his life in service to his country. If you've watched or subscribed to Charlie Mack and Brian over at BAS Dry Dock, you'll know that they dedicate many of their videos to those who have given their lives in service to our nation. And Charlie Mack will bring us information about those who were missing in action, but whose remains have been returned home to their families. And also Brian will show us videos about those who have served and those who have dedicated their lives to service to our nation. And it's really those two gentlemen who really had kind of rekindled my respect for those who have served in the military, and especially those who gave their lives so that we could stay free. And so that's a big part of why I'm going to do the next series of videos that I'm going to be doing. And so I want to say a big thank you to Charlie Mack and to Brian for keeping that respect alive, and for, again, as I said, rekindling that respect in me, and helping me take a good hard look at how I view those who serve our country. So my plan over the next few weeks, months, however long it might take, is to do what I am going to call the Jake Trees Memorial Build. And what I plan on doing is building this kit. This is the Lindbergh D-Day Invasion LST kit. It is a 1/245 scale. And as you can see, this is the actually the LST 380 is the markings that are included for this particular kit. However, I will be doing this particular build as the USS LST 348, which is the ship that my great uncle Jake was serving on when he gave his life in service to his country. And so my plan is to really do 3 things. First of all, just for those of my family members who might watch these videos, it'll give a little bit of family history that maybe they don't know. Second of all, it will give a little bit of United States history as it pertains to especially the war in the Mediterranean during World War II. That is where the USS LST served, was in the Mediterranean. And also, thirdly, it gives me a chance to build another great kit and to put a spin on it that I hope will give honor, will give respect to not only my family member who died serving his country, but also those others who also died during that particular incident. And so, kind of raises a question of why. There are a lot of battles. There are a lot of losses that we could talk about, that we could do builds about, and so why choose a ship that really only even had a number? And my answer to that is, aside from the very personal aspect of it, to me, there's another answer. And if you'll give me just a minute, I want to read something that I think answers that question of why do something like this. As I've been preparing to do this project, I've been reading a book, and the title of the book is called The Sonarman's War. It's a memoir of submarine chasing and mine sweeping in World War II. It's written by a man named H.G. Jones, who was a sonarman on one of the sub-chasers that served in the Mediterranean during World War II. And in his introduction to why he wrote this book, he says this. He says, of the published material on the Navy's role in World War II, a disproportionate amount of it relates to capital ships. Precious little recognizes the service of vessels below the size of destroyers and submarines. And then he goes on to say, he actually quotes Admiral Samuel Eliot Morison, and this is what Morison had to say. He said, let us also remember the small boys, the gunboats, minecraft, destroyer escorts, PTs, beaching and other lettered craft, even the lowly yardbirds and small cutters. These, largely officered by reservists, were forced to perform functions and make long voyages for which they had not been designed. The production of thousands of these in wartime, the training of them at special schools set up for that purpose, the operation of them under the most hazardous condition are beyond praise. And I really thought that spoke well to another reason why I've chosen to build this particular kit in the way that I plan to build it. It's not only to pay respect to the memory of Uncle Jake, but it is also to pay respect to the small boys, as Admiral Morison said. There were many who gave their lives on these, unnamed ships, and so that's another reason why that I've chosen to do this. So I hope this interests most of you. If not, you won't hurt my feelings if you don't watch the videos. But as I said, over the next few weeks or months, as I build this, I'll be giving a little bit of family history, a little bit of history of the LSTs, history of, in particular, the LST 348 and its role during World War II, and hopefully turning out a build that's, as I said, gives respect and honor where it's due. So that's all we're going to say for this right now. We will get started within the next few days on this particular build. And again, I hope you tune in. It's something that's very near and dear to me, and I hope others will get something out of it too. So for now, I'm going to sign off. Y'all take care. We'll see you later. Bye.